What is up, guys? It is another edition of your Allies Behind Enemy Lines. You know who it is. It is Ryan and Joey coming at you thoroughly behind enemy lines in Cowboys territory down here in Texas, holding it down for our Washington football team. A lot to get to today, but before we do that, make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts. Like, rate, subscribe, review on there. Make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube as well. Make sure that subscription button is clicked. Ring that notification bell so as soon as we drop the newest video, you are up to date on the latest and greatest. And like we always say, more often than not, the not so greatest around the Washington football team. Joey, how's your week been so far? Getting ready for the holidays this weekend. Obviously, you've been off work all week, so that's been nice. How's things going, man?
Well, you know, in theory, it's been nice, but you got to forget I have 2 children. So while I'm out of work, the daycare is also closed. Not only the daycare, I don't understand. Daycare is closed for school for some reason. I don't understand. But so my lady's at work and I'm home I'm playing, Mr. Mom. And so it's a lot more tiring than regular work, I'll tell you that much. It's a lot more tiring. So as relaxing as it sounds, it is not so relaxing.
I hear you. Yeah, right on. Well, we'll get right into it. The big news of the week, obviously, Dwayne Haskins, yet again, making bonehead decisions. Apparently goes out to a strip club sometime after the football game, after losing to the Seahawks 20-15. Goes out to celebrate somebody's birthday, somebody's party, whatever it was, but he was filmed going out without a mask, not obviously social distancing, being out in public, things like that. For a team that has taken this so seriously and has probably done one of the best jobs of any team across the NFL, this bonehead yet again goes out and screws up, not for the first time, but for the second time this season doing it. When your coach is in remission for cancer, he was battling cancer earlier this year, and that's why they're taking it so serious, was because they didn't want to put him at risk. You're given the keys to the franchise for the next few weeks until Alex Smith comes back. The team kept you around to, give you another chance, and then you go and do this and just screw it all up once again. And now we're kind of in limbo of is he gonna be on the team? Is he gonna start? What's the situation? And right in the thick of a playoff push, when we need a leader the most on the field, this guy goes to prove yet again why he just is not ready to be in that spot, or maybe never will be ready to be in that spot.
I have a lot to say. I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible on this issue.
Go off, King.
Well, I was going to say, you don't change. He's done. You don't change. I've worked with people long enough, and even talking about myself, I've been alive and had the wisdom long enough to know people don't get better. They get better at hiding the shit that they're fucking doing. That's what people like that. That is character right there. He's not going to go, oh, I didn't learn my lesson. No, you're going to get better at hiding. You go, oh, what am I going to do next time not to get caught? It's the character. Twice in 1 year. You were given the chance, like you said, the keys to a ship that is on the rise. A second chance that you did not deserve, that you fell into, because we have a guy that's fighting for his life pretty much, fighting to keep his leg on his body to function, to do something for a team, because that's the kind of passion he has. And you're right next to that. And that's what your decision you're going to make? You have a team full of young people that are excited, that are doing great things, and that's the decision you're going to make? That is after a loss, so to speak. I would be a little bit more understanding if he won that game. You know what? First start, we got us a win. Dumb move for not wearing the stupid mask. But geez, that's what you got busted for last time. 2 things: celebrating after a loss, stats, and sneaking some kind of family member or breaking the COVID protocol or something like that. So it just goes to show character. This guy is not going to change. He's not going to learn. He can say everything you want. You could sit there and tell me, oh, I'm maturing, blah, blah, blah. You're just going to get better at hiding this shit. You are not a leader. You are not a leader. A leader would be at home studying, trying to figure out how the heck he's going to win the game next week for his coach and for his team. And you're out there chasing the Askins, or whatever the heck you want to call those girls. And how the hell, if this was not planned, how the hell did all those girls have those jerseys anyway? Did you bring those with them? Or what the heck? How did those things even arrive there? I don't understand how those pictures even go. It makes zero sense. One of the most boneheaded moves I've ever seen. It makes me feel stupid to be associated with a team like that. As fans, we sit here and we take so much crap as being Washington football fans, and we wonder why we talk so much crap about this team. And you know what? And that's why. That's why, because we sit there and we defend them constantly against their name. Oh, their coaches or their owners' actions. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's their logo. Whatever. We defend all these things they do, their quarterback, the decisions they make. And then this is the things that happen to us. This is the frustration that we get. So Dwayne Haskins, get the heck off of our team. Now you put Ron Rivera, someone who's fought for his life in this year and is fighting for this team in an unwinnable position. Either he does what he should do, which is cut or bench your ass, and and punishes his team, or he punishes his team by letting your stupid ass go out there and play. So it's just I wanted to keep it brief, but you said go off, and so I go off.
Good. No, I'm glad. I think everyone needs to hear and understand and realize, the magnitude of the situation. And you're right. That last point you hit about how, so many people how we're an easy target for a lot of criticism and an easy target for, a lot of people to make fun of us on the internet, whatever it is. But I mean, when we have guys like this making poor decisions, not once but twice now, and you're supposed to, a first round draft pick, you're supposed to take this franchise over and be a part of this ascension that we're seeing, maybe a little earlier than we thought. You're supposed to be the guy, and now you just go to show that you are nowhere near that guy. You know what I mean? It's just another bonehead move by Dan Snyder, getting in his own way. Oh, this guy went to high school with my son, so I want him on the team. Yeah, you were good at Ohio State, that was awesome, but you realize, you're not playing professionals, the top of their game every single week in and week out like you are here. And you see when Dwayne Haskins on the field, he's nowhere near on the same level as a lot of these guys on the field. Definitely now off the field. Now that you see, and like you said, the fact that all these girls show up in these Dwayne Haskins T-shirts or jerseys, whatever they were, this was obviously planned. This was, a weekend getaway or a weekend of, hey, I have a game on Sunday. Everyone come in. We're going to go out after. And like you said, we were texting yesterday when it came out, or the other day when it came out, and you said, does Haskins stay on the team? I said, there's no way he can. There's no way he can stay on the team because, like you said, it's an unwinnable situation for Ron Rivera. Even we're putting in guys like Heineke or Montez to be the quarterback because we're kicking Haskins off this team or cutting him, rightfully so. Or we're saying, look, this is our only chance of hoping to win because Alex Smith can't go yet, so we're going to put Dwayne Haskins on there. Well, then he loses credibility with his team, and that's almost worse than saying, hey, look, we got to put one of these lesser quarterbacks back there. It's a lose-lose situation whichever way they go if Alex Smith isn't able to play. If Alex Smith is able to play, I'd say cut him right away. I'm ready to cut him right now regardless. I'm ready to cut him right now because his decision-making on the field is bad. His decision-making off the field is 10 times worse, and it's a shame. You know what I mean? And I think we saw it earlier with the Darius Guy situation. Now, this isn't nearly as serious as that situation, but Ron Rivera's quick, quick thinking, quick acting, and drop the hammer quick. So, he when he's made his mind, it's done, And so I think when he rules with an iron fist like that, he can get the backing of the team, which is way more important than just getting the backing of this guy who I don't want to call him a loser because, I think that's a little too deep, but just an idiot. That's the best word I can come up with is just an idiot. You can't trust him on the field. You can't trust him off the field when he's not under team supervision.
Entitled is the word that we want to look for. It's a privilege. I don't think how many times it's been said over the years. It is a privilege, first of all, to be on a football team. How many people on this planet, we've said it before, are quarterbacking an NFL football team? How many people? That's the privilege it is to be an NFL quarterback. And and all of us would trade so much to given even a chance to even feel something like that in our lives, all the competitive natures in us. And this is what you do with it. We all make mistakes. I've said it before. I'm not perfect by no means, but given it's a privilege. I've lost a lot of privileges because of the mistakes I've made, and I've learned from that. And so I think this privilege needs to be taken away from him. And that's the only way he's going to learn. Whether he comes back and it's a redemption story, I don't care. And if it does, good for him. I'm not wishing him bad. But as far as this team, Washington football team, they do not need Dwayne Haskins on there. And if, for some reason, because he is a good guy and he does care about his team, and maybe he's a lot more forgiving than I am right now, a little closer to the situation, has a more personal relationship with Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. For some strange reasons, if Ron Rivera, this is, first of all, we should say we're recording this pre his press conference on Wednesday. So he probably makes it, we're probably going to know after that exactly what he's doing. And so, if for some reason he does put Dwayne Haskins in there, Dwayne Haskins, I don't know what to say. I don't know what other fucking motivation you would need in your fucking life to show whether you have it in you or not to go out there and play. Because if for some reason you find your way on that field, you better fly. I mean, you better fly. You better be Willie beaming, steaming, puking on the field. Any given Sunday type performances I want to see, or what is it? Last Boy Scout.
Put on a gun, shoot people.
Yeah, not Billy Cole. Not Billy Cole. I'm talking about David Wayans. He was just gambling, But I mean, the performances, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the great performances we're talked about, theatrical, movie making, that better be if you go. Yeah, Falco. All of it mixed together. Throwing Varsity Blues, Friday Night Lights. I can't think of all the names right now because I'm just so angry whenever we talk about this right now. But, yes, you better go out there, and if you, for some reason, get this chance, I don't even know what else to tell you, man, but please, this team needs to stay together is the main point. This team needs to stay together.
Yeah, and I think by that you mean with or without Haskins. It's they need to rally together, and this will be a true test for a young team, for a team that, look, by the record standards isn't great. By what we've seen on the field, isn't even though we're first place in the division, we're not your stereotypical first division leader. But the fact that we have tasted a little bit of success, the fact that we are in a position to make the playoffs and maybe find just a small bit of success, whether that's a playoff win, whether that's just making the playoffs in the first year under a new head coach and a new tenure. We got, plenty of stars all over the field now. But if they can overcome this, like I said, with or without Haskins, regardless, I think that'll be a true test for this team moving forward. And I think their how they react will be, a telltale sign of what this team is capable of moving forward. So I agree with you. They absolutely need to stay together. They need to respond well, and I think this will be a good barometer to see where this whole team kind of stands. Like I said, whether Dwayne Haskins is part of it or not. So it's unfortunate he's put us in the situation, that he's put the team in the situation, he's put Ron Rivera in the situation, who, like you said, he's done everything for him. He's given him multiple chances. He could have cut him back back after he shit the bed, coming out as a starter. He didn't. He had him stick around. He wanted him to learn a little more under Alex Smith. Because it was known coming in that Dwayne Haskins was not going to be Ron Rivera's guy, and he was going to have to ball out in order to stick around. And he's done the exact opposite of that, except for 2 quarters of last week's game. So a guy that's had so many so many chances already, and opportunities to where this team could have cut him, but they stuck around because they wanted to believe in him, they wanted to back him, and you just went ahead and pissed that all away. So I agree with a lot of what you said. Very well said, very well thought out, and things like that. But like I said, it's an unfortunate situation. But the only thing we can do is move onward and upward. Like I said, whether that stands Haskins or he's tagging along, whatever it may be, it's got to keep trucking forward. It's just a shitty situation all the way around. Anything on this situation, on this before we move on?
One last thing, just like I said, I think that as an organization, it's like one of those things, like where you made your mind, you're breaking up with something. I think that's the straw that breaks the camel's backs. But Dwayne Haskins as a person, character, I don't wish anything bad upon him, obviously. Right. But also, if I give you one piece of advice, Dwayne Haskins, is just, irregardless of it, do the right thing. Just do the right thing. You know what I mean? You go out there, even if they're done with you, and you go out there, you still do the right thing. You don't go out there and you don't hold grudges, and you don't burn bridges and whatnot. You know what? You want to change? You do the right thing. If you're given a chance, you go out there and you work your ass off, even if you know you're going to lose your job. You do the right thing. That's the one piece of advice I have you, and that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, he's in a situation where he's 1,000% brought this on himself. There's zero blame to be placed anywhere else. He's brought this all on himself. So if he went out and was like, oh, this team never believed in me, this team never gave me a chance, that would be all bullshit. Like, there's nothing he can say bad about this organization or this team other than we're just stunk, and he was part of that. But there's zero place to put blame other than right back at that man staring at you in the mirror, Dwayne Haskins. But like I said, we got to move forward. We got a game this week against the Panthers. It's going to be a big one. We could win. If we win, we'll be in a great situation to clinch this division, depending on what the other the other 3 teams do. This is a game we have to win. A couple little news and notes before we move on. Signed a couple tight ends to the practice squad. One we are very, very familiar with down here in Texas, the 18-wheeler, Tyrone Swoops, former quarterback at Texas. So that's now 2 quarterbacks, 2 former college quarterbacks we have now at tight end. that are on the roster or part of this football team. And the other one I'm looking up right now. I probably should have had this ready. A good host would have had this ready. The other Dylan Cantrell. Dylan Cantrell. I was just so excited about Tyron Soups on the team.
That is awesome. That's news to me. Hook 'em.
Yeah, absolutely. So if Montez or Taylor Heineke aren't able to go, we got Tyrone Swoops. Let's get the Tyrone Swoops Logan Thomas package back there, similar to the Ravens Heisman package with Lamar Jackson and Robert Griffin. We can get the heavy set tight end package back there, and let
the super tight, the super tight, the super tight formation.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. We'd be but because that was the other thing somebody brought up. I said we were moving on from the Dwayne Haskins thing, but if he happened to be around that team, we could find ourselves in a Denver Broncos situation. Depending on what everything was going on around and outside of that, whether it's contact tracing, whatever it may be. We could have found ourselves in that situation where Logan Thomas or now with Tyrone Swoops or somebody, is playing quarterback for us who hasn't taken a snap in the NFL as an actual quarterback. So that would have been bad news. But I'll be honest though, like Logan Thomas playing quarterback, I think I'd kind of be okay with that in a 1-game emergency situation.
Well, I'd liken it to like a Tim Tebow situation. For the Texas fans, maybe a David Ash situation his rookie year where he's just hiking and just running. He's just hiking it and just Taysom Hill, Taysom Hill pretty much. Just running and bulldozing. And I would almost see that, Steven Montez situation almost being the same exact way too. He's a bigger guy, and I'd almost see just, if he had to play, just Cam Newton him and just run him into the line every time.
Yeah.
And just keep going and get behind that big Pro Bowl right guard and,
That's the other thing too about this situation with Dwayne Haskins is Steven Montez was caught liking a couple tweets talk about how trash Dwayne Haskins was, so that's not a good look for old boy down there. So
it's like the Pope. It's like the Pope liking nude photos. The Pope keeps getting caught liking some pretty suggestive pictures on Twitter. I'm like, guys, don't you know everyone can see which ones you like? Don't like stuff like that. We see what you like. Steven Montez, are you unaware as well? Yeah, get a burner. But why do you gotta like it? Can't you just like it without liking it too? Right. Can't you just look at it? Why do you gotta hit the like? Just keep just shake your head and be like, yeah. And then just keep going. Why you gotta like it? Why you gotta leave record, man? Everybody's just leaving record nowadays. Exactly. Dropping dimes on the dry snitching on themselves. That's all. Exactly. That's the culture we live in now.
Straight up, yeah. So now as we head to the game, tough to say what's going to be happening with the quarterback situation. I'm not 100% sure about the Antonio Gibson thing. I don't know where he's looking like either. It being so early in the week. Usually Thursday, Fridays when you can really tell which guys are going to be able to go and which guys aren't. So it's really tough to kind of break this game down right now. With so many question marks. The running game I feel good about. I said that last week or earlier this week actually on the wrap-up show that I felt good about J.D. McKissick and Peyton Barber running the show back there. We added Lamar Miller this week if Antonio Gibson isn't able to go, he's a guy that's been a workhorse and a lead back before in this league. So I don't know why he'd have any issue doing the same thing here. Sean Dion Hamilton, one of our linebackers, he got put on IR with that elbow injury that he went out with in Sunday's game. Kevin Pierre-Louis, Cole Holcomb, they're both questionable as of today. So obviously losing Cole Holcomb would be tough to not have him. Obviously, like we said earlier this week too, Michael Kendricks gets signed to the squad, maybe fill that middle linebacker position. If Christian McCaffrey's not going, I feel a lot better about this game. I don't know if he, again, another situation there. There's just so many question marks on both sides of the squad. I think this will be a great opportunity for everybody who thinks Jeremy Chin should be Defensive Rookie of the Year to see that Chase Young is by far the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jeremy Chin can't even make the Pro Bowl as a rookie. And anybody that wants to say, oh, he only has 5.5 sacks, you're an idiot. You just don't watch games. That's fine. I had some dumbass on Twitter say the same thing. Oh, he only has 5.5 sacks. And we said it. You were talking about it post-show last week off air. You're like, everyone just saw those 2 recovery fumbles that Jeremy Chin had and got big old boners for him, and that was it. If you're not watching Chase Young day in and day out, week in and week out, then you have no idea about this guy, and he's just an absolute game changer. Changes the games, changes teams' plans. We talked about it in the 49ers game, so I think this will be a great opportunity for everyone to see that nobody is coming close to Chase Young when it comes to defensive rookie of the year in the NFC.
And all the, if there's any Panther fan listening right now, is like, now you're gonna get a chance to see why Jeremy Chin is gonna be the NFC or the defensive rookie of the year, because I'm a Jeremy Chin fan as well. That guy is huge. He's a nephew of Steve Atwater. So he's got the lineage of strong safety in his blood. He plays all over the place. What is he? 6'3". He's huge. He makes tackles. I think he's already got over 100 tackles. When your safety's leading your team in tackles, you already know that they're getting through your line a lot too. So that's the same thing about your defense. But anyway, I'm not taking anything away as we say this about Jeremy Chin. He is a great player. A great find for the Carolina Panthers. But just Chase Young is just Chase Young. He's just a different breed. I think he got the most votes out of any end, I think, out of all the ends, as a rookie. So not only, was he the top, one of the only rookies to get, when they said the youngest Washington rookie ever. Yeah. And then so that's the kind of presence not only did he bring to this team, he brought to the league. So now we're talking, game changing, now we're talking team changing, now we're talking league changing. So when you got someone like that who's, I think he was the cover or the banner for the NFL Twitter account, the other day. So that's the kind of presence that Chase Young is breeding, and people will say, oh, it's not. Well, that's because he's gonna. And other people are already saying, oh, he's gonna win just because it's a popularity contest. Well, what isn't a popularity contest, guys? What is it? You're popular because you are awesome and you play good. It's not because you're not popular. He's not a pop singer. He's not popular for his dance moves. He's popular because he goes out there and kicks ass, and friggin' wrecks games and does cool shit. And that's why we love Chase Young. That's why he's gonna be the defensive rookie of the year. So naysayers aside, I'm assuming Jeremy Chin's probably going to bring his A game and throw his hat in the thing and want to really show why he should be. But Chase Young is just that guy, and he doesn't know how not to be that guy. So we'll just continue to see that. But as you said, Christian McCaffrey not being in there, even if he does coming in there, he's going to have that thigh, have that shoulder issue he's been nursing all year. Who knows how much we'll get out of him. I did watch a little of that Green Bay Carolina game last weekend. If Carolina comes out the way they came out in the first half, we might have a 0-0 game because they come out a lot like how we come out. But they definitely did turn it up a little bit in the second half there. And Teddy Bridgewater can move around. He's one of those quarterbacks that we definitely can't, as we like to say, overrun. But Mike Davis is a good filler in there. It's one of those games that we just got to see who wants to win it more. It just boils down to that. Who's going to do their job better? Who's going to step up? Both teams are dealing with injuries. Both, everyone. Just like I think Ben Roethlisberger said the interview, before this game before they got beat by Bengals on Monday night, was like everyone's hurt right now. It's like saying if you're hurt, everyone's hurt right now. So if you're not banged up, you haven't been playing. Basically. So that's why the prospect of even having some fresh legs of Lamar Miller come out, that is good, and have some guys like that come in there, and Michael Kendricks as well. So I said a lot there, but again, I think it all goes back to, it's gut check time. You can, like you said, it's very hard to predict. There's a lot of unknowns going into this game. There's probably going to be a lot of unknowns going right up to the kickoff. So the only thing you can do is prepare and psych yourself up, get your team ready, and get ready to go out there and kick some ass.
100% agreed. There's so many variables going in, but it all boils down to this is a game that you got to win. So it is gut check time. Either nut up or shut up. Whether there's a bunch of controversy going on surrounding the team, whether it has to do with the quarterback, whether it has to do with the owner, whether it has to do with whatever. It's if this team really wants to show that they are either undervalued or people aren't respecting them for whatever reasons. Right or wrong, like I said, it's not up or shut up time. This is a foreign team, Panthers team that looked good. That defense was very good at the beginning of the season. They've tapered off quite a bit, they have some good weapons in Curtis Samuel, a couple other guys that that can really get it done for them on the offensive side. Like I said, whether it's Mike Davis or Christian McCaffrey, that Mike Davis is a very good backup running back right now for it. He's been great for them since McCaffrey's been out most of the season. Teddy Bridgewater, he can get it done. Don't undervalue him just because he went through, something very similar to Alex Smith. That's why I think it'd be so cool if Alex Smith could play because, you obviously have the Ron Rivera Carolina Panthers thing. You have two guys that literally both almost lost their legs, in gruesome injuries, coming back and playing against each other. It's really cool. Obviously a ton of Carolina fans, former Washington fans before they came into the league, bunch of losers skipping town and bouncing over to Carolina. Even though
idiots living in their hometown, trying to have hometown pride or stuff like that. What's wrong with you idiots?
Yeah, I know. No kidding. As we come to you live from Texas, but over there. So yeah, it's gonna be, there's a lot of storylines here, but the biggest one is just that it's a must win. It's a must win. We can't let that week 17 game be a win and get in type deal, especially if Jalen Hurts keeps balling out. The Eagles are playing better, and there's a lot of variables. The Giants have the Ravens this week. The Cowboys play
The Eagles.
the Eagles. The Cowboys play the Eagles this
Yeah.
week. So whoever loses that game, they'll be pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. And so yeah, like I said, we can't have that week 17 be a win and get in, because we just gotta take care of business now. That's all it boils down to. Is we gotta take care of business now, and it's, if we got, like you said, like we say every week, win the turnover battle, win time of possession, get after the quarterback, and
Don't be the dumbest team on the field. This is almost one of those don't be the dumbest team on the field games. I mean, not to cut you off, but it's the same thing I'm saying to anybody that you would say to any of your players, that you would say to anybody that's, you get this late in the season, you guys, it's you get this late in this, with me with my students, you get this late in the school year, it's like there's only so much I can tell you. There's only so much I can teach you. I mean, it's a certain point you gotta know. If you don't know how to get up for this type of game, what this game means for your franchise, for you, for your coach, for your whole organization, then I don't know what you have not been paying. I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, your job, what you need to do. Just go out there and do it. And we want to see which team. Carolina obviously has less to play for than we do, but obviously they want. I'm sure. There's some Carolina people that might say, well, they probably love Ron Rivera. I think everyone loves Ron Rivera, so who knows how they might feel. But I'm sure the owner wants to get Ron Rivera to lose. So I'm sure there's some kind of insight there as well. But again, Jeremy Chin wants to be known. Teddy Bridgewater wants to, he's still playing for his job. So there's still a lot of things that they're going to go out there and try to beat us, and and take down this defense. So you guys need to come out there and just show everyone that you can rise above everything that's been thrown at you, every stupid lawsuit that your stupid owner keeps getting you involved with, every controversy we've had, everything. We've had two beautiful stories, and Ron Rivera's recovery and Alex Smith's story, they so get overshadowed by just this negativity that surrounds us, this dark cloud. Not to mention our president doing great things with our organization, and and Jonathan Allen, our Walter Payton, man of the year. Our two Pro Bowls, Brandon Scherf, who's done it, this is his fifth year now doing that. Chase Young, all these great things that are happening on our team. Not to mean, Montez Sweat, everyone says she got snubbed. Tressway always should be the Pro Bowl punter. I don't care what anybody says. I was shocked about that. Yeah. Antonio Gibson doesn't get hurt. Guarantee you he's in there over Aaron Jones. It's just so many great things to happen here, guys. And I don't want any of your minds or any of our minds to let these other things overshadow that. Go out there and just keep being the Washington football team, and we will be fine this Sunday.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing too. I mean, you literally just named so many positives that are going on with this team, but nobody's talking about them because of all the negative shit that's going on. It's crazy. I mean, such a young, talented core with Jonathan Allen, who you mentioned, Deron Payne, obviously Chase Young and Montez on the ends. I mean, how our secondary stepped up, how no one's really talking about Cameron Curl and how he's been an absolute steal of this draft. Antonio Gibson, like you said, it's crazy, but because of Daniel Snyder's actions, now Dwayne Haskins' actions, things like that, it gets overshadowed. So it's real unfortunate there. But that's being a Washington football fan. Also, real quick before we wrap up, two quick things. You talked about Chase Young in the popularity contest. He isn't a pop star, but he does have some pretty sweet dance moves. I will. I want to mention that. No, but second, there was a story that that Daniel Snyder was possibly considering going to the Washington Football Club, which I think is ridiculous, is absolutely asinine. We're already the football team. Why would we switch to the football club? If you're going to stick with football, we just be the football team. Football club is too. I mean, that's a soccer team. That's a soccer team. Let's be real. So, if we aren't going to an actual team name like the Red Wolves, like whoever, it's got to stay the football team. That's the other thing I want to give my 2 cents in. I'm assuming you probably agree there as well. Yeah.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I figured. So the the football team. Wow, that was Washington football team. They're laying 2.5, so they're a 2.5-point favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and lay the 2. I think they win by 3. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think it's gonna be 3 to 5 point game, maybe a touchdown. The total is 44.5. I think that's going to be under 44.5. I think we're going to see a game very similar to what we saw last week because, like you said, these are two teams that don't play great the first half, especially because there's so many question marks with us at the quarterback position, with them at the running back position. So I think it's under 44.5. And so that is my two official picks for this week. I promise on Monday I will have my updated record. I promise. I will do that. I will go through and listen to all of them and have my updated record. I'm sure you guys are all sitting on the edge of your seat, wondering what my record is overall in these picks. But that's all I got for this. Joey, do you have anything before we wrap up here, bud?
Yeah, but that's not the only thing they're going to be waiting for on Monday. Is your picks. They want to hear. They want to see the not only seventh time we've blown the victory trombone this year, but the NFC East division winning victory trombone, which might be a double trombone. We might have the biggest trombone we've ever seen in our lives. We want to have it all over ourselves. Yes.
Double trombone.
Double trombones going left and right all over the place. That's what we want to see. So we'll be double fisting the coffee. The birds will be singing, a whole choir of birds will be singing out there. The air will be fresher than the top of any mile-high, Rocky Mountain mountaintop, and we will be the NFC East champions. So, mark my word now.
Right.
I know that's right.
So, as we wrap up, as always, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, ring that notification bell, like, rate, subscribe, review on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on SoundCloud if you aren't able to get us on Apple iTunes or podcasts. We always post every show there as well. Still working to get on some of these other platforms, but until we do that, that's a great place to find us is SoundCloud. Every show is there, uploaded immediately. You probably get it there before you get it on YouTube or Apple Podcasts. So that'd be the first spot to go to. But everyone have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. We'll come back at you live and not live, but you know what I mean. We'll come back to you Monday, like you said, hopefully double fisting those victory trombones. One for the victory on Sunday, and one for that NFC East division title. But like I said, everyone have a safe, happy holidays. We will see you guys on Monday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all then.